Hi guys, and welcome back to Claire's Clues. On today's video, we'll be talking about a psychological study called the Pygmalion effect. You might also know this as the Rosenthal effect, written by Dr. Robert Rosenthal himself, a psychologist. See, the Pygmalion effect is based in psychology, specifically environmental and organisational. So he talks about how higher expectation leads to higher performance. So how we think of ourselves and of others, what our expectations are in the beginning, is exactly what we will find our outcomes and our results will be. Our performance will be just that. It will be of a higher standard. So if we believe in ourselves and in others, if we have an expectation from the get-go that we can do something, that it will be positive and the result will be great, then you will find that through action, your results will be just that. They will match your beliefs. Which is also another thing Robert Rosenthal talked about, is how our beliefs impact our actions. So what we believe in is exactly what we will start to play out and make reality. So if we think positively, if we think, you know what, I'm going to be a millionaire, I'm going to make it, I can do this no matter what, where there is a will, there is a way, you will find that your actions will play out exactly what you believe. And you'll find that maybe 5-10 years from now, shorter if you're lucky, and if you're really good at what you do, that you will be a millionaire. He also talks about how our expectations influence others around us. So if we have a high expectation of others, you will find that their performance will be of high performance as well. So what he also talks about is how there is a cycle. And it starts off with our beliefs. And our beliefs influence our actions. And our actions influence others' beliefs towards themselves, which also affects and impacts others' actions towards us, therefore reinforcing our beliefs in the beginning. So it's a big cycle of how our beliefs form our actions, and our actions get passed on to someone else and perceived in such a way that if it's good, they'll perceive it as such. And if it's negative, it'll also be that as well. So we hope for the fact that it would be positive, and they take that on and then they turn that into a belief on their own. They start feeding off the fact that we believe in them, that they can do it no matter what, they are going to be successful as well. Therefore, they start to believe it and it becomes their trait, their belief, and they own it. Therefore, they start to live it. If we believe in something strong enough, you will find that no matter what, even if you try or not, whether it's conscious or subconscious, you will start to play that out in life. So what we want is to give people the right head start. Have a high expectation, because otherwise you will find that they will start to slip and let themselves down. Now, the opposite of the Pygmalion effect is called the Golem effect. And this is where lower expectation leads to lower performance. So this is what happens when we think the opposite of others, when we don't set a high expectation and we don't have a high standard. We start to put onto them an expectation that they aren't going to make it, a belief that they will not succeed, and that they will start to believe that themselves. Therefore, they will not even try. They won't even get off the start line because they don't think, you know what, it's worthwhile. While as people on the Pygmalion effect believe that no matter what, whatever it is they're doing, it's worthwhile because the expectation is set. That standard is so high that they are ready and willing to jump through whatever hoops and nets they need to get through to get to their goal. So that expectation is the make or break for a lot of people. Now, we want to avoid the Golem effect because it can be detrimental to a lot of people, including ourselves. We don't ever want to set a low expectation only to have a low performance or even lower than expected, because that will only lead us down the path of no results. Therefore, we want to come back to the Pygmalion effect, the Rosenthal effect. How, no matter what, the expectation is set so high or high enough that our performance will match or beat whatever it is that we have our expectations set at. So, moving on, guys. I want to talk how the Pygmalion effect is a self-fulfilling prophecy. So, like I just said, if you have a high expectation, you'll find that your belief through your actions will start to become your reality. So, and the same goes for if you have low expectations. If you're listening about the Golem effect, you'll find that your lower expectations will lead to lower results, outcomes, and we don't want that because we all want to get somewhere in life. So with that being said, what you'll find is that you need to have high expectations for one. Set ambitious goals, whatever it might be. You could be wanting, holidays around the world 6 times a year. I don't care what it is. Set your expectations and your goals high, because that's going to be your starting point. The part where you begin all of this. And also keep in mind that your beliefs have a big part to play in all of this. So think about it. When you set your goals, what would you like your life to look like in a year from now? What do you want it to look like in 5 years? Do you want it to be successful? Do you want to be happy? Do you want to be family? Do you want your friends around where you can go on holidays and have time to live a lifestyle that you enjoy? Or do you want a life where you're, working your 9-to-5 job, you're not quite happy, you work with people you don't get along with? All of this can change. You can do all this simply by the Pygmalion effect, having the right belief from the get-go. Because no matter what you do, if you have the right belief, you will find that no matter what, subconsciously or consciously, your expectation will be played out through your actions. And the more you do this, the more you repeat that great belief in yourself, in others, the more you instill this, the more you will find that your day-to-day life will become proactive. You will find that the people around you will be drawn towards you. You will find even better friends. Your family will be so impressed. Your work colleagues will be blown away because you would have changed, all for the better, might add, and they will start to believe that they themselves, they think they're better because they will feed off you. They will feed off your energy. And they will find that because you're perky and you're happy and outgoing and bubbly, you will find that they will start to draw from that. And they themselves will start to believe that as well. And that's all it takes. It's like dominoes. All you need is one. It starts with one. And if you push that over, it starts to hit the next, and so on and so forth. And you will find that that's how we end up with those domino puzzles and pieces. And they look amazing to watch. I'm sure they're a pain to set up, but they are so worthwhile because at the end, all you have to do after all that work is just hit one domino. One domino to start it all. And that's where belief comes in. It only takes one belief every day. Start there. Start with your beliefs and what you think, because your thoughts will become your actions, and your actions become habits, and your habits will become your reality. So if you want a positive outcome, believe in yourself, believe in others, and you will find that no matter what, the outcome and the expectation will always be greater. Sorry guys, moving back on to what I was saying, we were talking about what your life would look like in 5 years. So thinking of that, write it all down, get it all out of your head, take pictures, have boards, whatever it is you need to do. Put posters up. Go on Google Maps, go on Google Earth, have a look around, look at, flight center advertising. Find what it is you want to do. If you want to travel, or maybe you want to build a house, find inspiration for that. Or maybe you want to have children. Maybe you want to settle down, have a family. Think about what it is, where you want your kids to grow up, what schools you want them to go to, what life you want them to have. We all need to plan a life to some degree, whether it be our own or others. And we can all do that. We're all capable. It just takes one domino. So moving on, guys, all this takes is to create a plan, create a goal map. Have an idea of the goals that you want to achieve, a 1-year goal, 5 years, 10 years, write it all down and map it out. That way you're not going to get lost in the process there. So by mapping it out, you've written down and broken down a goal into a plan. And a plan backed by action becomes reality, which is the best part of all of this, is that your goals can become your reality. You don't ever have to worry about having them be dreams for the rest of your life, because one day you'll be living that and you'll have other dreams and other aspirations and you'll write them down and you'll go through the same steps, because all of this is worthwhile. All of this will become your reality. So moving on, guys, I want to talk about how once you've done all this, once you've done your goals, you want to build in little rewards. All right. So once you've achieved mini goals along the way, say it's in your 1-year goal that you've got, and on the process, you've got little achievements along the way. Tie in little rewards, little, Maybe you want to go to the movies. Maybe you take some time off to spend with the family. Maybe you take a little trip, not far from home, but far enough to get away for the weekend. Whatever it might be, tie in those little goals and those little rewards. And develop and improve your sense of personal responsibility, because we are all responsible for our own lives. We're responsible for the input, which means we are also responsible for the outcome. We cannot blame others for the outcome that we receive, because we are all to blame for the input that we have in it. You only get out what you put in. So if you're not getting out of the result of what you want, then you will find that you're not putting enough in the beginning. Also, explore and cultivate strengths and weaknesses, and make sure that you are always working on and improving our weaknesses. Because no matter what, once you have your weaknesses down pat, once you know them inside out, no one can use them against you. And then that way, you will be 100% of a good quality person. Not to say you're not now, but there's no stopping getting better. Never will you ever know enough. Never will you ever be 100%. And if you are, well then, you're not human, I'm sorry. But anyway, like I said, always focus on our strengths, because they are always our good qualities, but know that we will all have weaknesses and that we all need to improve them at some point, at some time. Because if we don't, you will find that they will be the downfall, and therefore they will stop us, or maybe even just become obstacles to us reaching success, which I'm sure we all still want. So work and explore and cultivate your weaknesses. And always focus on your strengths as well, because these are the things that will help you move through your goals and your pathway quicker. So last but not least, guys, I will talk about how you need to surround yourself with positive people. Because no matter what, you are only the average of the 5 people that you're hanging around. You will only be as good as the next person next to you. So therefore, if you've only got mediocre friends, you can only be mediocre yourself. And we all know that you're better than that. We all know that you can do great. You just have to set your expectations high enough. And lastly, listen attentively. Listen to your conversational partner as best as you can. Not just to respond, but to understand. Because remember, we need to seek first to understand, then to be understood. And also, don't cut off your conversational partner. This will make them retract, withdraw, and then you won't have quality people to speak to. Well, I'll leave this with you guys for now. Now, to summarize really quickly, the Pygmalion effect is all about a psychological effect. It's about how our beliefs turn into our actions, and our actions turn into how it affects other people's beliefs of themselves. And those other people and their beliefs will turn into actions, also reinforcing our beliefs in the beginning. So make sure you're getting off on the right start. Make sure that you have a good quality belief, because if you're biased and you are, biased in such a way that from the get-go they're not going to have a chance, then you've already set the standard for failure, which we want to avoid. We want to make sure that these people, no matter who they are, no matter what job they have, no matter where they are in life, that they will be successful, that they can be successful. So just believe, because that's all it takes. Have a thought, and then you will find that your body will start to follow suit no matter what it is you think, other than the fact that it's got to be positive. All right, guys, I'll leave it with this for now, but we'll be making a lot more of these videos for this training series to help you with your development goals. I've forgotten the rest of this, I'm very sorry. But leave a comment below and let me know what you like the most, and I look forward to seeing you next time in Claire's Clues.